Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and distinguished guests, and a warm welcome to our celebration of the 9th International Day of Yoga at the Emirates Arena. Apologies for the delay in starting, but we are starting now. My name is Lisa Di Giacomo, and I'll be your MC for this evening. We will begin this evening's event with a short address by the Indian Consulate of Edinburgh, Sri B.J. Silvaraj, which will be followed by a welcome note from our very own Mataji, Sunita Podar, and then the moment you've all been waiting for, yoga with Sadhvi Devaditi and Sadhvi Devaniji, two of our most esteemed yoga teachers from Patanjali Haridwar. And it is my honour and privilege to announce that we have been graced by the presence of Acharya Balkrishna ji from Patanjali Yogpeeth, who has joined us for this evening's event in Glasgow. There has been a yoga tour for the past week or so, and our yoga teachers have conducted several events, one in Bolton, one in London, and one in Nottingham. But I'm pleased that they have saved the best to last, and we have them this evening in Glasgow. Could I ask our Indian Consulate to come and say a few words?
Acharya Balkrishna ji, Sunita Podar ji, Pandit ji, Namaskar, good evening to all of you. Very happy to see such a large gathering of people to do yoga today under the auspices of the Patanjali Yogpeeth UK. The International Day of Yoga was announced in the year 2014 on December 11th and adopted unanimously by all member countries of the United Nations. Since then, every year we've celebrated 21st of June as the International Day of Yoga, and this is the 9th year in which these celebrations continue. This year, you would remember, the Honorable Prime Minister was at the United Nations, himself leading the celebration of yoga there. I know that many of you are ardent followers of the practice of yoga. To me, it's something that's equally useful to keep the body and mind in balance and in focus. Very, very limited exposure to that. That is why we have Acharya Balakrishna ji here to help us with the practice. And I wish all of you a good session today, and I hope this becomes a lifelong practice for those whom it is not. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Now, ladies and gentlemen, it gives me great pleasure to introduce a lady to you who really needs no introduction. She came to this country as a young bride and built her own successful empire from the ground up. Her entrepreneurial spirit and desire to change society for the better had led her to take up charity work, and she has earned a reputation as a leading philanthropist. She was deeply inspired by the vision of Swami Ramdev ji and Acharya Balkrishna ji, and she created her own Dragon's Den, investing in their dream of manufacturing affordable Ayurvedic medicines for the many and not the few. In October 2007, she was appointed trustee and international coordinator of Patanjali Yogpeeth UK Trust. Since her appointment as trustee, her achievements have been phenomenal. But the most phenomenal by far was a donation of a Scottish island for the promotion of health and well-being. She is a passionate advocate of women empowerment and has overcome many professional and personal challenges to become the inspirational, resilient woman of substance she is today. It has been my honour and privilege to work by her side for the last 20 years. Ladies and gentlemen, please give a warm welcome to Sunita Poddar.
Thank you so much. Sorry guys, I go viral so I can't speak that well. So I'm going to ask Sadhviji to come and speak on my behalf. So please welcome Sadhviji.
Well, thank you, Lisa ji. And as Mataji has worked a lot, and in this situation also, over the medication, she has been spending last 7 days with us and traveling a lot and doing a very hard work. So my salutations to Mataji. And let me start. These are the words of Mataji. I would be just announcing on her basis. Om. आयुर्वेद शिरोमणि श्रद्धेय आचार्य बालकृष्ण जी महाराज के शरण कमलों में मेरा कोटि कोटि नमन प्रणाम. Good evening everyone. May I extend a very warm welcome to the Consulate General of India, Mr. Vijay Salvaraj ji, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, and our PYPT family for being with us today at our celebration of the 9th International Day of Yoga. We are delighted to be back at the prestigious Emirates Arena for the 4th time and especially honored to have Param Pujya Acharya Ji Maharaj with us, who has travelled from India to join us here today. Accompanying Acharya Ji is Dr. Anurag Varshney Ji, Vice President of Patanjali Research Institute, and Sadhvi Devaditi Ji and Sadhvi Devani Ji, who have been conducting various yoga classes throughout the UK since early June. As part of the UK Trust, we aim to empower people from all walks of life to take their health and happiness into their own hands. A fresh way of thinking about mental and physical health through yoga and pranayama. Param Pujya Swami Ji Maharaj and Param Shraddha Acharya Ji Maharaj have created the world's largest charitable initiatives, including setting up hospitals, schools and other educational institutions, playing a key role in the promoting the use of Ayurvedic remedies and yoga for health and wellness, making a significant contribution to Ayurveda and yoga. The theme for this year's International Yoga Day is Vasudhaiv Kutumbakam. It's a Sanskrit phrase that means the world is one family. It is a concept from ancient Indian texts that emphasizes the interconnectedness and interdependence of all people and nations. Regardless of our cultural, racial or national differences, we are all part of one world and should treat each other with respect, compassion and understanding. A meaningful mantra for our event today, celebrating yoga in honor of global unity and oneness. Yoga's true essence lies in achieving unity, which is not limited to physical balance or the harmony between the mind and body, but also extends to finding balance in our relationship with the world around us and cultivate a deep sense of peace and compassion that can transform our lives. Moreover, by cultivating mindfulness and inner peace, we can become more aware of the struggles and challenges that others face and can work towards creating a more just and equitable society. On this International Yoga Day, Let us pay tribute and thanks to Param Pujya Swamiji Maharaj and Param Shraddha Acharya Ji Maharaj, who have developed this practice and passed it down through their teachings across the globe that will retain for future generations. I would like to encourage everyone to take up the practice of yoga and experience its transformative power for themselves. Not just in India, but the whole world will be eternally grateful to Param Pujya Swamiji Maharaj and Param Shraddha Acharya Ji Maharaj for their contributions, restoring our heritage and reviving our culture, providing the unparalleled sense of pride and unity. Please remember that changes start within ourselves. As we look in the mirror and reflect on how we can contribute to our being and society at large. So let us embrace the power of yoga and the sense of oneness it can bring to our lives, and creating a world that is peaceful, harmonious, and filled with love. Om to everyone.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Now for a gentleman who really needs no introduction. Acharya Balkrishna Ji is one of the founder members of Patanjali Yogpeeth Trust in India and the United Kingdom. He has devoted his entire life to Ayurveda, Sanskrit, and yoga. He is a pillar of the Patanjali Ayurveda empire and oversees the manufacturing of natural herbal Ayurvedic remedies and natural everyday products. The Patanjali brand is currently one of the leading brands in healthcare in India. He has a driven passion and commitment to eradicating health issues and is actively bridging the gaps in Ayurvedic knowledge and modern medicine. He has published more than 300 research articles. He has authored more than 200 books on yoga, Ayurveda, agriculture, and IT. He has edited more than 40 unpublished ancient Ayurveda manuscripts, and only last week presented 70 volumes of his newly published World Herbal Encyclopedias to Kew Gardens in London. And on Wednesday, he will be gifting the same volumes to the Botanic Gardens in Edinburgh. The encyclopedias contain 60,000 descriptions of medicinal plant species and has the world's largest collection of medicinal plant paintings. He has been honoured by the United Nations SDG as one of the most 10 influential people in healthcare. And in a study by Stanford University, he is enlisted among the top 2% of scientists across the world. And if that wasn't enough, in his spare time, he has scaled 3 inaccessible peaks of the Himalayas to discover many of the rare herbs that habitat that area. Ladies and gentlemen, please give a warm welcome to the stage to Acharya Balkrishna Ji. Could I please ask Sadhvi, Devani, and Devaditi Ji to accompany Acharya Ji. Sunita Ji will honour Acharya Ji with her, both Acharya Jis. We've been honoured. Now the moment we've been waiting for, we'll begin our yoga class. I hope you enjoy this evening.
I would be starting on behalf of Param Shraddheya Acharya Maharaj. And before starting with the yoga session, I would take this as an opportunity to remember and bow my head and salutations for a million times in the feet of Param Pujya Swamiji Maharaj, and also in the very divine and auspicious presence of Param Shraddheya Acharya Ji Maharaj. With me, Puja Sadhvi Devvani Ji is also here, and also the trustee for Patanjali Yogpeeth Trust UK, Adarniya Sunita Mataji, and our guest, the Council General of India, present here, and every divine soul present here. Welcome all. Namaste. Pranam to everyone. Let us start with the session. And before starting, we would be doing some chanting of Om. We would be doing chanting for 3 times and the chanting of 4 mantras. For the chanting of Om, please keep your back straight, keep your neck straight, gently close your eyes, place both of your hands in Dhyan Mudra by touching the tips of forefinger and thumb together. Stretch rest of the fingers and place the hand over your knees with the closed eyes. 3 times the chanting of Om, and we would also be chanting the mantras. Those who have remembered, who learned mantras, and those who can speak, they can join us. And those who are not learned in mantras, they can just keep their eyes closed and listen to the mantras. That would also help. So let's start with this with a deep breathing. Inhale. Now the chanting of mantras. Om Bhur Bhuvaswaha Tat Saviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Nah Prachodayat. Om Trayambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushtivardhanam Urvarukamiva Bandhanan Mrityurmukshiyamamritat. Om Sahana Vavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karvavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu Ma Vidvishavahai. Om Asato Ma Sadgamaya Tamaso Ma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorma Amritam Gamaya. Om Shantihi Shantihi Shantihi. So once again, Namaste, Pranam, and welcome to everyone present here. And now we would be starting with the physical part of the yoga. And as we have learned from Param Pujya Swamiji Maharaj, Param Shraddha Acharya Shri Maharaj, that even from the scriptures also, the ancient scriptures, that yoga is not something that is which is related only to the mat. It is something more than that. So 2 hours of yoga on the daily basis and 22 hours of karma yoga, this is what our life needs. And to prepare ourselves for the karma yoga also, we need to prepare our mind and our body, and that's how, when we are able to balance our mind, body and soul, then we are able to perform better in our life, and we can excel in our life. Puja Swamiji Maharaj has divided these the practices, the physical practices, into 5 main parts. In the practice of the exercises, in which we kind of do the cardio kind of exercises. Second is the practice of asanas, then the practice of pranayam, and the practice of the subtle exercises, and then meditation. So we would be starting with some stretching exercises, taking it to the practice of yogic jogging exercises, then some sun salutation. So I would request you all, let us start by standing in our places, and we would be starting with the stretching exercises, which are also good for our structural balance. For that, just keep your legs closed, interlock your hands together, place them over your head, breathe in and raise your body in the upward direction. Just lift it in the upward direction. Also try to keep your elbows straight. And those who have a pain in their knees, or those who are not able to balance over the toes, that's totally fine. You can just keep your heels also on the floor. There is no need to raise your heels. Breathe out, come down. Once again, breathe in, lift your body in the upward direction with the elbows straight, and try to balance your body weight over your toes. But then again, I want to add that do yoga according to your physical capacity. Breathe out, come back. Once again, breathe in. Well, if we want to have the best from any yoga posture, then the concept and fact says that we should at least try to stay for 30 to 60 seconds in one posture. That is the most beneficial stage. And breathe out. But again, the concept says that we should practice according to our physical capacity. So now let us do the Tiryak Tadasana. This was Tadasana. So for the practice of Tiryak Tadasana, once again, keep your legs a little apart, interlock your hands, place them over your head, breathe in, raise your hands, keep your elbows straight, and now we would be bending our body in the right direction. Breathe out, bend in the right direction. Bend according to the physical capacity. Breathe in, and now breathe out and bend in the left direction. Try to keep your elbows straight. So this is Tiryak Tadasana. Breathe in, come in the starting posture, and once again we would be repeating it for 2 times. Breathe out, bend in right direction, in your right direction. Once again, breathe in, come back, breathe out, and in the left direction. Even with the bending posture, try to keep your elbows straight. Breathe in, come back, relax. So this was the practice of Tiryak Tadasana. Now we would be practicing Dhruvasana, the tree pose, Vrikshasana. For that, keeping the left leg over the floor, raise your right leg and place your right feet over your left thigh. Heel should be in the upward direction, toes should be in the lower direction. And then slowly and slowly with the breathing, we can raise our hands and join them together in the upward direction. Try to keep your elbows straight. If you are easily able to perform this asana, that's fine. And if you are facing difficulty, then also it is fine. Just keep both the legs over the floor and you can just join your hands in the upward direction. Relax. Now from the other direction. And those who are able to come in the posture but not able to hold, then you can just concentrate at one point. By concentrating at one point, you can hold for longer. Now, keep the right one at the floor. Raise your left leg. Place the left feet over your right thigh. raise your hands in the upward direction and join them. Try to keep your elbows straight. So are you feeling relaxed or tensed? Well, relaxed face will have smile over their faces. So this was the practice of Vrikshasana. And would you like to do one more? Okay. So let's practice Garudasana also. For the practice of Garudasana, keep your left leg over the floor and just wrap your right leg twice over your left leg and wrap your left hand twice over your right hand. Take a deep breath, look in one direction, try to balance your body, and here we go. Relax. So this was the practice of Garudasana. Now from the second side, other side, opposite direction, try to keep your right leg over the floor and wrap the left one twice over right one, like this. Relax, relax. Relax, come back. So these were the stretching exercises, and now we are ready to perform the yogic jogging posture because they need a little warmed up body. So that's why we did some stretching in the starting. Are we ready with the practice of yogic jogging? So let us start. And first one is the simple jumping. But also I want to add the precautions. Those who have pain in their knees or those who have pain in their back, they should not jump. They should do these exercises, the jumping pose, very gently like this. Those who have pain in their knees or those who have pain in their back, with the deep breathing. So in the first posture also we need to jump, in second also. So those who are suffering from the pain, they should not jump. Do it gently. In the second posture, try to lift your hands up to your shoulders and try to keep your fist closed and try to touch your hip with the heel. With deep breathing, relax. Now the third posture, place your hands over your trunk and now lift your right leg, then the left one, with deep breathing. With deep breathing, inhale and exhale. So this is third one. So now for the fourth one, relax, and we would be bending our knees now. Relax, bend them, and then come in the normal posture. Breathe in, breathe in. Slowly and slowly, the practice of fourth posture. Now the fifth one. For the fifth one, just keep some space between your legs. Like this. Stretch your arms in the forward direction. Bend your knees a little. A little. Come back. Now bend your knees like left knee and stretch your right knee. Relax. Now bend your right knee and stretch your left knee. Now from the opposite direction, and if you are able to sit, you can sit completely. As we said, in the starting only, do yoga according to your physical capacity. So bend knees up to your limits. Relax. Now the sixth posture. Once again, place your hands over your waist and turn in the right direction. Now bend right knee and stretch left knee like this. Try to look in the upward direction. Relax. Now turn in left direction. Bend your left knee, stretch your right knee and look in the upward direction like this. Now in right direction, just what we have to keep in our mind is don't bend your back in the forward direction. Don't lean in forward direction. Try to keep your back straight. So this is the sixth posture. With deep breathing. Like this. So this was the sixth posture. Now the seventh one. For the seventh one, stretch your arms in the forward direction. Keep your legs a little apart, some space between your legs. And breathe in and open up your arms. Try to bend in the backward direction. Breathe out, come in forward direction once again. Breathe in, bend in backward direction and open your arms. Now breathe out, come in front. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. Once again. So this was 7th posture. Now for the 8th posture, again we have to keep some space between our legs. Place your left hand over your left thigh. Raise your right hand. Bend in the left direction slowly and slowly, and try to keep touching your right hand with your ear, and take your left hand towards the ankle. Relax. Now in the right direction. Try to keep your upward arm stretched. Now in the left direction. Breathe in, breathe out. With deep breathing, this is our 8th practice. And we can increase the speed slowly and slowly according to our capacities. If it is not, we are not feeling comfortable with fast speed, we can keep it at the low speed also. Like this, the 8th posture. Relax once again. And now the 9th posture. And before starting the 9th posture, one more precaution. Those who have pain in their back, they should never bend in the forward direction until they have got ridden out of this back pain. So in 9th and 10th posture, we need to bend in the forward direction. So those who are suffering from back pain, they would be doing these postures halfway. Stretch your arms sideways. And those who are suffering from back pain, they would be touching their knees. Touch your left knee with your right hand. Raise your left hand and try to watch it out. Now in the opposite direction. Touch your right knee with your left hand. And those who are not suffering from any kind of back pain, they can bend completely and touch their feet like this. Breathe in. Touch your feet with the opposite hand. Left feet with the right hand, right feet with the left hand, like this. With deep breathing. Relax. So this was 9th posture. And for the 10th posture, again we have to bend in forward direction. This is forward bending. So those who are suffering from back pain, they should bend up to what your back allows you. So don't bend much, and don't bend if you feel even a little pain in your back if you're suffering from back pain. So place your hands over your thighs and keep your legs closed. Breathe in. Raise your hands in the upward direction. Breathe out. Bend in forward direction until you are able to touch your palms with the floor. But once again, if you're not able, then also it is fine. Breathe in. Raise your hands in the upward direction. Breathe out and bend in forward direction. Keep your knees straight. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. So this was 10th posture. Now in 11th posture, once again there is jumping. So those who are suffering from knee pain or back pain, they have to do it this way. The 11th posture, stretch your right leg, raise your hands in the upward direction and join them. So this is 1. Drop your hands and bring your right leg in the normal posture. This is 2. Now stretch your left leg. This is 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So those who have back pain or knee pain, continue with this pace. And those who can do it with a jump, so we would be now doing it with a jump. 1, 2. This is 2 only. 3, 4. 1. Only 1. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. You want to do it with a little fast speed? Okay, a little faster. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. A little faster. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. With deep breathing according to your physical capacities. So this was 11th posture. Relax. And now 12th posture. This again needs jumping. So those who are suffering from knee pain or back pain, just do it simply without jump. Stretch your arms and then like this. So this is for those who are suffering from knee or joint pain without any jump. And those who can do it completely, bend your knees a little, stretch your arms in the front direction, hands in the right direction, feet in the opposite direction, like this. 1, 2, 1, 2, like this. With deep breathing. Relax. I hope you are not tired. Are you? We have to do a lot now. We have just started. And now we would be practicing some sun salutation. And you know, sun salutation is a complete exercise in itself. Even if we are not aware what to do, what not to do, and we are aware about the sun salutation, then it is a complete exercise in itself. And there are 12 steps in sun salutation. With each and every step, we have to do one exercise of breathing also. So either we would be inhaling forcefully, or we would be exhaling forcefully, or we would be breathing normally. So in first and sixth step, it is normal breathing, no forceful inhalation or exhalation. And in rest cases, in the case in which we are expanding our body, we would be inhaling forcefully together with that. And if we are contracting our body, we would be exhaling it out. And in each and every step, we would try to do it according to the concept, but also remember, do it according to your physical capacities. Are we ready? I want to add one more information. You know, as Swamiji Maharaj always say this, that those who are able to practice sun salutation for at least 20 to 30 times a day, they never get they will never get overweight. Also, they will never get old. So obviously the age will increase, but our strength will never decrease if we are regularly practicing this sun salutation. So are we ready for the sun salutation, everyone? And we would be doing it for 3 to 5 times. And those who are not comfortable in practicing sun salutation, they can sit over their place and practice some pranayam or some subtle exercise according to your capacity. If you are comfortable, let us start with sun salutation. Keep your legs closed, your hands, this is the starting posture, right beside your thighs. Now breathe in with normal breathing, join your hands in the front and bring them in front of your chest like this. So this is first pose, which is known as Pranam Asana. What we call it as Pranam Asana. Now for the second posture, breathe in and raise your hands in the upward direction, Hastottanasana. Try to keep your elbows straight and bend your back a little in the backward direction. Now breathe out, bend in forward direction. Be precautive, those who have pain in their back, try to touch the floor with your palms
and try to place your hand right beside your feet. Also try to touch your knees with your forehead if it is possible. Then breathe in. Lift your left leg, place it behind, keep the right one in the front, bend your right knee, stretch your left knee, stretch your left leg completely. And this is Dakshina Shvasanchalanasana. And then after this, breathe out, place your right leg now right beside your left leg. Raise your buttock, keep your elbows and knees straight. And this is Parvatasana. Try to watch out your navel. With normal breathing, place your knees over the floor. Now place your chest between your hands. So chest and hands would be parallel to each other. Now the chin over the floor. So there would be a very little raise in our hips. Try to touch the chest and chin over the floor. So this is Ashtanga Namanasana. Touching the floor with 8 organs. 2 hands, 2 toes, 2 knees, chest and chin. Breathe in. Raise your chest in the upward direction and try to keep your elbows straight. This is Bhujangasana. Once again, breathe out. Lift your buttock in the upward direction. Try to touch your heel to the floor. Watch out your navel. Once again, this is Parvatasana. Breathe in. Bring your left leg in the front. Bend your left knee. Stretch your right leg. So this is once again Vamashvasanchalanasana. Once again, breathe out. Place your right leg right behind your left leg. Padhastasana. Breathe in. Raise your hands in the upward direction. Breathe out. Join your hands, then elbows together. Bring them in front of your chest. Open your elbows. And this is once again Pranamasana. When we practice it on a slow pace, then our muscles get more stronger, more flexibility, more sweating. So now we would be practicing it with a regular speed. Once again, drop your hands, come in the starting posture. With normal breathing, 1, Pranamasana. With inhalation, Hastottanasana. With exhalation, bend in forward direction, Padhastasana. With inhalation, place your left leg at the back, bend your right knee, stretch your left leg, Dakshina Shvasanchalanasana. Breathe out, lift your right leg, place it right beside the left one, raise your buttock, keep your elbows and knees straight, try to watch out your navel and try to touch the floor with your heel. Don't lift your heel, this is Parvatasana. Place your knees over the floor. Now the chest. So hands should be placed parallel to the chest. This is once again Ashtanga Namanasana. Breathe in. Raise your chest in the upward direction. Bhujangasana. Try to look in the upward direction. Breathe out. Raise your buttock. Touch the floor with your heel. Parvatasana. Breathe in. Left leg ahead. Right leg at the back. Bend your left knee. Stretch your right leg. Vamashvasanchalanasana. Breathe out. Place the right one in the front. Padhastasana. Breathe in. Raise your hands in the upward direction. Breathe out. Join your hands. Now the elbows. Bring them in front of your chest. Open up your elbows. So this is once again Pranamasana. So those who are done now, they can also sit. You always have a chance to escape in yoga for that particular part in which you are not feeling comfortable. So do yoga according to your requirement and capacity. Now once again with the numbers, with the counting, we would be practicing sun salutation. 1, 2, breathe in, 2, breathe out, 3, breathe in, 4, like this, breathe out, 5, normal breathing, 6, Ashtanga Namanasana. Breathe in. Bhujangasana. 7. Breathe out. 8. Once again Pavatasana. Breathe in. 9. Vamashvasanchalanasana. Breathe out. 10. Padhastasana. Breathe in. 11. Hastuttanasana. Breathe out. 12. Pranamasana. Drop your hands. Are you ready to do 2 more? Yes? Well, enthusiasm I feel a little less now. Are we ready for the 4th and 5th? And those who are not ready, that's totally fine. You can just sit over your places, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. One more to go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Now relax. Congratulations. You all passed. Are you still feeling tired or feeling like a warrior? Like a warrior? So let us take our places, warriors. We have to proceed further. Now let us start with some pranayam. And we would be starting with our first pranayam, which is Bhastrika pranayam. Deep breathing. Bhastrika pranayam is deep breathing. Just place your hands in Dhyan Mudra over your knees. Breathe in deeply. Inhale deeply. Then exhale completely. Those who have knee pain or those who are not comfortable in bending knees, you kindly please stretch your legs in the front direction. Don't exert any force or pressure over your body, which should not happen. So I would request, if you have pain in your knees, you can stretch your legs in the front direction. That's totally fine. And if you don't have, then try to sit in this Sukhasana. So this is Sukhasana, in which we have bended our knees. So this is the Bhastrika pranayam, and try to inhale forcefully at least in 2.5 seconds. You can take more than that. So take 2.5 seconds to inhale. Slow inhalation, add that to forceful. And then next 2.5 seconds to exhale. Inhale. It would be much better if we are closing our eyes. So this is Bhastrika pranayam, which has majorly 2 rules. First rule is that try to inhale and exhale air as much as possible. Try to inhale as much as possible. As like when we go to doctor, they place a stethoscope over our heart and they ask us, inhale deeply. Like that kind of inhalation, forceful inhalation. And the second rule is that you have to take this air inside your lungs, not inside your stomach. This is an exercise for our lungs. This is a breathing exercise, particularly for our lungs. And the air we will be filling inside our lungs. So between our chest and stomach, there's a very fine wall which is known as diaphragm. When we inhale deeply and fill our lungs with the air, this diaphragm, this moves downward. and it creates a pressure over our stomach. And when we exhale out, this diaphragm moves in the upward direction, releasing the pressure on the stomach. So we feel that something is happening inside our stomach, but this is the movement of our diaphragm. This is the movement of our lungs, not the stomach. So these two main rules should always be remembered. Keep your eyes closed, and we are doing this with the regular speed. There are more speeds also, with medium speed also, with fast speed also. We can practice Bhastrika Pranayam, but regular speed is something with which everyone is comfortable. And what happens when we practice this Bhastrika Pranayam? Normally, what is happening inside our body is that we are less awakened about and aware about our body, and that results into very small breathing, which means that we are only utilizing 40, 50 or maximum up to 60% of our lungs. This is a proven fact. And when we are inhaling less amount of oxygen than the required in our body, so there would be less production of energy. We are running on energy, and this energy production happens inside our cells, and these cells produce energy from the food we are eating, which is converted into glycogen and transmitted to the body with the help of blood by the liver. And then with the help of blood only, this oxygen is also coming to our cells, and there is a process called oxidation of this glycogen which happens inside our cells. This creates energy. The energy is created in the form of ATP molecules, adenosine triphosphate molecules, which get stored inside the mitochondria. And when we require energy, this energy is utilized by our body. Each and every action of our body is happening because of that energy only. We require energy to speak. We require energy to listen. We require energy to move our limbs. Our kidney requires energy. Our heart requires energy. And when we are taking very small breaths, this will result into the deficiency of oxygen inside the body. And deficiency of oxygen means the deficiency of energy inside the body. And our mind is only utilizing around 50 to 80% of our total created energy. That's why we should not take stress, because already mind is utilizing 50 to 80%, and when we take stress, the other energy which is required for other activities inside the body, that is also consumed by the brain only. And that's why we should avoid this stress. This stress will result finally into the development, creation of different kinds of diseases inside the body. And that's why when we practice this Bhastrika Pranayam, we are just reversing the process. When there is less amount of oxygen, less amount of energy, degeneration of the cells and creation of the disease inside the body. And when we inhale more deeply, so more amount of oxygen, more amount of energy, more amount of possibilities of strong immune system, which will result in the regeneration of the cell. Our body cells will be stronger, and this will result into the fighter cells. The body will protect itself from any kind of disease. So we can reverse the process by the inhalation process only. So this is Bhastrika Pranayam, which is very good for our lungs. And if our lungs are strong, then our respiratory system would be strong. And if our respiratory system is strong, we would have a stronger immune system also, which means less amount of viruses and bacteria possible that would be able to affect us. So this was the practice of Bhastrika Pranayam with deep breathing, which is required for every person. A 5 minute of duration is required. So at least practice it for 5 minutes, and those who are suffering from chronic or genetic diseases, we request them to practice at least for 15 to 20 minutes. Now we would be moving towards the next pranayam, which is Kapalbhati Pranayam. And with this Kapalbhati Pranayam, the change in this Bhastrika Pranayam and Kapalbhati Pranayam is that in Bhastrika, there was forceful inhalation and forceful exhalation. But in Kapalbhati pranayam, this is forceful exhalation only. I hope we all are practicing.